Hey there guys, Frankomatic here, and we're back once again with some more King's Quest V. You might notice we're on a different screen. That's because we are going to go into the desert.
Ooh, there's nothing but a hot, dry desert to the west. Most people avoid it because there are bandits out there. Ooh, if you insist on going, I'll wait for you here.
Yeah, fuck off, Cedric. Anyways, there's a few things you need to know about the desert. One,
Too bad. Even the sting of such a small creature can prove deadly.
there's an area full of fucking scorpions that kill you instantly. So you gotta watch where you walk. Two, I don't think I'm gonna show this one off because it takes a bit too long.
Ooh, there's nothing but...
Shut up. It takes a bit too long, but you can only transition screens so many times without finding a source of water before you die of thirst. You get a warning when you're getting close. And, Graham, you know what? Go faster. There. But it is a pretty tight limit. Oh, and the last thing, if you go too far west or south, the desert becomes endless. So you will get horribly lost and eventually die. And you don't want that.
A small oasis. Its tantalizing water, so sparkling in the desert sun. Graham's hot, thirsty body is irresistibly drawn to it.
But there are oases and other sources of water hidden throughout the desert. So...
Ah, life-giving water. Nectar of the gods. Graham can now feel strength and renewal flowing through him.
So really, you are intended to map out the desert and die a bunch of times, but I've done this in the past, so I know where to go. There's also a couple of screens where there are things you need to pick up, which is a little obnoxious. Like right here.
Uh-oh. A picked clean and sun-bleached skeleton lies in the sand of the hot, dry desert. What happened? Who can say? But it makes Graham uneasy nevertheless. An old shoe lies forgotten near the poor skeleton.
Anyways, we need this boot for a completely illogical puzzle later. So let's get it now.
Uneasily, Graham reaches down and removes the old shoe from the desert sand.
And now let's find ourselves some water. Luckily there is another oasis, like, right here.
The hot sun and choking sands are taking their toll on Graham. He must drink, and soon.
And that's your warning that you are getting close to dying from not having enough water.
Ah, life-giving water. Nectar of the gods. Graham can...
Shut up, we heard you already. The thing I like to do is every time I make it to an oasis when I'm on the very strict agenda you have in the desert is to save. Because if you go one screen in the wrong direction at any point, that's generally enough to fuck you up. Now, we're going to go somewhere that we can't actively get into yet, but you have to go there first in order to see how to get in there. Which is kind of weird, but you know how it is. Now then, what I'm going to do here is save very quickly. Drink some water.
Ah, life-giving...
And let's just hang out here a little bit.
From across the desert sands, Graham can hear the sound of approaching hoofbeats.
I'm sure it's a friendly guy. Let's just stand out here and meet him.
A spy! Get him!
Never trust a bad guy, Graham.
Hey, how was I supposed to know they were bad guys? Well, because they killed me, obviously, but this is one of several puzzles where you're expected to just know that something coming around is going to murder you, even though you have no reason to suspect that it will. I guess Cedric did mention that there are bandits in the desert, but why would you think that they are, like, right there?
From across the desert sands, Graham can hear the sound of approaching hoofbeats.
What you need to do is hide. Like this. And for some reason when they ride by they don't see you.
Open sesame!
Really? But that has given us our new objective. We need to find where those guys just went off to and get a hold of that staff.
Like
So, conveniently for you guys, I know where they are. So let's get over there. It's a little bit of a walk, and we'll have to stop at another oasis along the way. But you know how it goes. Ironically, if you map out the entire desert, all the oases and places you need to go are mapped out to be exactly within walking reach. So there's like only one or two possible paths you can take that won't involve death. Now they are a couple of screens down and then one to the west, I think. Is it west here or is it down one more? It's down one more.
with disgust, Graham looks at a drunken bandit lying face down in the desert sand, completely passed out. Beautiful harem girl belly dances for the merrymaking bandits within the larger tent. The bandits' horses rest in the desert sun, while their unsavory owners revel within the large tent.
Anyways,
A large clay jar full of water stands by the campfire.
and that is what we were looking for. First off, water.
Ah, life-giving water.
Shut up. Every goddamn time. It is not necessary, man. Now then, because there's some fun to be had here, let's save. And goof around a bit.
Phew! Holding his nose against the drunken bandit's pungent odor, Graham quickly searches him, but doesn't find anything of importance.
Yeah, he's a red herring. Let's go into this big tent full of guys.
An intruder!
That wasn't a very smart move, Graham.
Yeah, it really wasn't. I'm sure that death didn't surprise anybody. But now for my personal favorite death in the entire game. There's the staff. There's a sleeping dude.
Thanks again for all your help.
Who are you? A spy!
That wasn't a very smart move for Graham to make.
I just love the thanks again for all your help bullshit Graham pulls out of nowhere there. But anyways, what you gotta do is grab the staff without touching or bothering that guy in any way.
Taking care to be very quiet, Graham reaches out and takes the staff into his possession.
You also have to be quick, because he will wake up on his own eventually. Now we save again, so we don't have to do that again. And now it is time to head back up to that temple, which also has a couple of fun deaths, so I'll probably show those off too when we get there. I actually really like the desert, even though it is basically a die a bunch of times until you know exactly where you need to go kind of place. I guess I'm kind of a masochist in that way.
Ah, life-giving